Zangor Enlightened are probably the worst enemy in the game, at least when playing Assault class. Okay, kind of a rant. They are away from your melee attacks when they are in range. They move away from your melee range right away. The jump pack attack usually doesn't even reach them, so that isn't an option. Sometimes you can catch them pretty close to the ground, or like on like stairs or something. And shooting them with heavy bolt pistol, it takes about 2 mags worth of shots. No, dude, seriously, when it comes to higher difficulties, the disc shamans are seriously starting to annoy me. I know certain classes like the assault class kind of have a bad matchup against them, but these enemies can literally spawn on your head. It is so annoying to go through like the process of getting them within your screen and then nailing them with headshots, you know. I'm seriously getting really annoyed by disc shamans, man. Oh my god. Whenever I see one spawn, I'm just like, alright, let me just find a different room and see if I can trap them in or something. I don't know. But that said, you definitely, if you can get like if you can find some cover, that's probably a good spot to start. And they move around a lot. They got the shield under it, so sometimes those take some shots away from dealing damage. Lastly, the other enemies will be distracting you all the time as you try to shoot those 20+ shots at the disc guys, while they can do those spinny disco moves at you or throw spears that explode. The worst is when they just throw spears. That's the worst. The worst is when they don't do any moves that actually interact with you. Like none of the perfect dodges either. It's just, hey, we're just gonna throw spears at you. That's, oh my god, I'm already getting annoyed. And they spawn all the time. We had 20 of them spawn in a row at Reliquary level last night while trying to avoid fire from Dragon, Flamethrower guys, snipers, Zangor Juniors and all that. Dude, no. I completely agree. The bridge is the worst area they can spawn. It is just, oh my god, it just halts you so often because it's, not only are they probably not even on your screen, but they are throwing unblockable attacks at you. Even the attacks that you can parry. Like, you can parry them, sure, but like even when you do, you kind of have to like turn around and get the gun strike, so they're just really hard to interact with, to be honest. Especially for like assault or bulwark. Plasma weapons have a tough time with disc shamans. If these enemies would take less hits to down with a pistol, they could be less of a problem. Right now, they make Chaos annoying to play. They didn't used to be before, but after the patch, they are. Okay, I don't know. Chaos was always kind of annoying, I think, but the thing about disc shamans is at first I was willing to just like, you know, at first they didn't really piss me off because I wasn't too, you know, they were new, so it was fun to fight a new enemy, but now that's starting to wear off, and now they're just annoying. It's really getting crazy. Let me guess, though, a lot of people will go, oh yeah, they are mega easy enemies to deal with, just shoot them twice and they die, but whatever, you like them, that is fine. Well, the only people who should be able to say that are snipers, basically. I hope devs balance them a bit more, at least limit their spawns, and they don't spawn all the time or just lower the health. Yeah, disc shamans are seriously starting to annoy me for sure. At least when I'm trying out a bunch of different stuff, so I'm starting to realize how much of a nightmare matchup they are for most classes. Well, not even most classes, but like certain builds. Like the plasma heavy was definitely, the disc shamans was definitely giving me trouble. At least for the incinerator, the pistol was okay for it, but it doesn't do enough damage to really get them down, and then you're also using a lot of ammo to take them out, so that's super annoying. Yes, the assault class can be annoying. The heavy bolt pistol is pretty good, but yeah, like I think the amount of mags they're saying is more for lethal. Sometimes you can get away with you know, getting a big slam. Even with Vanguard, it really depends if you're using the Melta. They can definitely get out of the way of the Melta pretty often. And then they're also a match-up terror for block weapons, which is probably the worst part about it. They can just negate the entire, you know, unique aspect of that type of weapon. It's super annoying because they don't attack you enough. And then melee weapons don't always work against them, so it's like, it's really annoying. It's really annoying. I'm not even going to say nerf them, but I'm going to be really interested to see what they do with certain perk changes, to see if, you know, if generally classes get buffed, you know, from the perk changes, and then also there's going to be new difficulties, so Yeah, I will say the disc shamans are starting to really make me mad. If it wasn't for the fact I just had a really annoying spore mine encounter, I would say these are probably the worst enemy in the game. But I'll talk about spore mines when when that subject comes up. But that said, I do think the disc shamans are starting to annoy me more than zoanthropes. And that's at a face value, you know what I mean? Like, when you run into a disc shaman, when you run into a zoanthrope, let's say you have no grenades, but you have, like, a weapon, you know? I don't know, it really depends. I think they're comparable. Sometimes zoanthropes you can see coming. Sometimes the disc shamans just spawn in and then start flying away, and it's just a real big pain to get them on your camera as you're also trying to get the mob on your camera. So, I don't know, they can be seriously annoying. They're a mixed bag on Sniper. If they get close to you, they start to become near impossible to hit, and you kind of have to wait for specific attacks. Yeah, no, that part is really the most annoying thing, especially for the bridge. Waiting around for a disc shaman to give you a parryable or any sort of attack that's interactable. That's not them throwing the spears or just flying around. Like, honestly, that's what really kills it for Reliquary, is the fact that disc shamans are basically time-based. Like, honestly, like, just sitting there and waiting for a disc shaman can get your run absolutely killed on the bridge for Reliquary. Idle periods or cry for help attempts, yeah, you can definitely hit them then, that's true. Something to let you line up the shot. Sometimes it also works to execute something else, since they kind of wait for you to execute and don't always immediately move afterwards. They kind of wait for your execute to end and don't always immediately move afterwards. I don't know, that's interesting. On the other hand, if you can spot them in the distance before they start attacking, they're an easy one-shot kill due to their lower HP pool. Overall, I'd say the best class for dealing with them. But it does require the sniper to be on point about doing so. Yeah, I would say the sniper is the best class for dealing with them. Yeah, probably. It's personally my number one priority. The heavy bolter is also good for it. It's personally my number one priority when playing sniper, both because it saves my teammates having to deal with those, and also just because sniper itself can't even handle them properly while they're actively attacking. It really depends on what attacks they throw. It is a really annoying enemy. I just have to be honest. Like, I think everyone's starting to really, like, have less tolerance against them just because of their... The HP pool isn't the issue. It's the way you have to interact with them and the way you have to have, like, a certain weapon for them. Just that you need some hit scan, basically, just to get them. It's really just an issue at, like, Reliquary or, you know, like, stuff like that. Or, like, and the way they can just fly off camera can get really annoying. But yeah, their HP pool is fine. It's just really about what attacks they throw, and honestly, sometimes the hitbox for the perfect dodge on the disc feels really, really janky. Like, you can dodge that thing without it hitting you, and you can essentially get phantom damage from it. That disc is seriously, you know, it's starting, yeah. Disc shamans are getting me annoyed, pretty much. I'm getting annoyed by the new enemy. The newness of the enemy is starting to wear off. They're just here, and I think they don't really kill runs. It's just like you have to use a lot of resources for them regardless. Like, if you're an assault class, and I mean, you should probably use the Neovolkite for them, but that said, if you're the assault class and you're using, like, the heavy bolt pistol or, like, plasma or something, like, and you have a crack grenade, you pretty much have to use a crack grenade to hit a major, which is, like, way overkill. Normally crack grenades are great for, like, extremists, you know, even terminus level enemies, but hey, it does get the job done. Yeah, they are not fun to fight at all. The constant juking around makes them hard to shoot, especially with plasma weapons. It's certain weapons are just a nightmare to fight against them with. The dodge parry windows are unintuitive as they don't make sense with the animations. Oh, okay, I just mentioned this. Yeah, I'd say they have really janky hitboxes. And they have multiple unblockable staggering attacks from range that are not telegraphed with a blue-orange warning signal. Oh, well, it's the spear, right? Basically throwing the spear. And I guess when they throw the disc, as long as it doesn't have the unblockable thing on it, you should be able to parry that. So you can end up getting hard staggered out of nowhere. No, he's right about that. Like, honestly, you can get hard staggered from these guys when they're off screen, and you did not get an indication that they were attacking you. Yeah, nah. Like, I'm so mad. I'm so mad right now. Just reading this is just getting me tilted. while fighting other enemies. The dodging range wouldn't be too terrible if the pairing dodging windows made more sense and they telegraph better. You know what? Nerf them into the ground. Honestly, just nerf everything in Chaos to the ground. Make them super easy. And this is me just, you know, I honestly, I'm just sick of them, so I'm overreacting here on purpose. But that said, like, honestly, just nerf them into the ground. Nerf everything that's annoying into the ground and make the fun fights actually just more fun and just make them harder. I don't know. Anything that's fun to fight should be getting a buff, and anything that is annoying to fight should get a nerf. They're without a doubt the unfun enemy in the game. In my opinion, they would be fine if their HP got nerfed, but as they are, being fast, strong, and hard to hit moving target that can't even be dealt with using melee and having their janky animations and being a sponge on top of that is just kind of obnoxious. I'll give them the sponge thing for lethal, maybe, like, probably. The last time I was running lethal, I was playing sniper, so this is probably why I'm a little bit on the fence about it, but that said, yeah, I just, you know, when it comes to lethal, I kind of just concede that point because of how lethal's scaled. I really hope they find a way to better, you know, better enhance difficulty in this game without just adding HP pool. That seems like the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to difficulty, so I think it really depends if you've had a long experience gaming, because, yeah, you just see bloated HP pools everywhere now as far as difficulty, and it just gets really tiring. But that said, definitely Sniper can take these guys out. You just need some hit scan. The Neo Volkite pistol probably is pretty good. But yeah, dude, honestly, I agree with most of this stuff. They can be fun to fight if you have a kit for it. Like, if you're specifically using, like, the auto bolt rifle or something, where you have, like, good accuracy. Hey, the Instigator is probably good against them. So there's that. The Instigator's is good. I tried that weapon out recently, and I'm gonna be playing more of it to level it up. They shouldn't be so tanky for all the other stuff that they have going for them. They violate the enemy trait triangle. Fast, strong, tanky enemies that feel fair, fun generally never have all three. That's an interesting. That's an interesting element to kind of balance some of these enemies for sure. But yeah, I agree with pretty much all of this. they are turning into the unfun enemy. It honestly wouldn't be that big of a deal if they had, like, you know, set spawns or something. Because whenever I see them spawn in and it's like an enclosed area, it's like, dude, it just becomes the jankiest game because they spawn in and they spawn off camera, and then you're also just cramped with a whole other mob as well. It's very janky. It's very janky. As a Vanguard main who only plays solo, I respectfully disagree, not because I think you're wrong. The Enlightened are genuinely obnoxious, but because 2 times Zoanthrope spawns remain the undisputed tag team champion of being a pain in my A. High damage AoE spawn with buggy hitboxes, a shield mechanic that effectively doubles their health, and that's probably where the sponginess actually is, basically. Yeah, that shield, man, it's pretty crazy. It should be staggerable, you know what I mean? Like, if you hit the shield, they should, I don't know, maybe they already do, but if you, like, hit the shield with a melee, they should be, like, knocked back or something. Bots that are ineffective against them is just over the top. I suspect they're benefiting from the Neurothrope's health regen bug as well, but I can't prove that. That's an interesting theory. Let me know in the comments if you've heard anything like that before. But yeah, we've covered the Neurothrope health regain bug before, but I don't know, I've never seen it in person. The only good answer for Vanguard is crack grenades, and yeah, well, and the Instigator. And when you don't have them, say goodbye to 80% of your ammo and then hello to a fresh 2-time Lictor and massive wave that are coming because the director thinks they're taking too long. Yeah. No, seriously, this is why they're a pain in Reliquary, because you just spend too much time with them, and yeah, they spawn basically extremists directly towards you as you are still struggling with the Disc Shaman. This is why it's important to target the Disc Shamans as a team and take them down as quick as possible. They really should be the enemies your team just focuses down, like right from the start of the encounter, for sure. Constructive feedback. Zones are a problem for melee classes in solo play due to the combination of the bots' ineffectiveness against them and the limited range damage options of melee classes. Buffs to the bots, AI, damage output would help a lot here, as would targeted buffs to secondary weapon. That's interesting. Here, I never heard that pistols kind of needed... I thought pistols were kind of in a good spot, but obviously not for this weapon, or obviously not for this enemy. But that said, I think the bot buffs are a good idea. Yeah, definitely let me know in the comments how you've been dealing with the disc shamans recently. They just really got on my nerves because I've been trying out a lot of different weapons and stuff, and I just noticed how like the plasma was really getting on my nerves. Like, for sure, the LF sniper can have trouble lining them up, and then also their spawns and just pretty much reliquary on the bridge is just really annoying to see them. So yeah, these disc shamans have been annoying me a lot. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you think they are probably the worst enemy to fight at the moment. Really, let me know in the comments if you have any good strats for them. If you have like a go-to strat. I know crack grenades are obviously really good against them, but there has to be something else out there, right?